Hello everyone, welcome to Sade's Tarot Tea. So before I get started, I am doing a reading on Tupac, so I'm excited to do this reading. I can't say I was a huge Tupac fan. I love his energy. So we'll go ahead and see what comes out for Tupac. But before I get started, I wanted to tell you guys I am available for personal readings. I am doing personal readings now. I'm so excited. I've been starting a little bit here and there on personal readings. So if you would like to book a personal reading with me, please feel free to hit me up on elegantflapper92, or you can DM me at sadestarottea@yahoo.com. I mean, email me. Did I say email me? You can email me at sadestarottea.com, okay? At sadestarottea@yahoo.com. I actually also am going to be working on building my own website. I am so excited for that. I was thinking about starting off on Etsy, but we'll see. I think I'm going to jump to a website because I want to have a calendar and like a whole thing for you guys to book with. So yes, look out for that, okay? But in the meantime, just hit me up on elegantflapper92. I will have it below, and also check the description for the links and everything, if I put a link. But if not, I'll just have the description of my channel name and my email, where you guys can hit me up, okay? So yes, as well as my prices. All right, so I asked Tupac to hopefully to come through. I'm gonna ask about how he was when he grew up, and how he was when he was, just getting into the rap game and who he looked up to. So hopefully I can get those questions answered. I also want to know what happened before he passed and what his energy was like as he was passing and before he was passing, if he even knew what was going to happen, or if people were warning him, stuff like that. So guys, please take this with a grain of salt. I know there is a lot of Tupac fans out there, and if I am off with the energy, someone's gonna attack me. So just take it easy in the comments, okay? Like, I'm doing this for entertainment purposes. I don't take it that seriously. You shouldn't either, but I am taking Tupac as a rapper and his energy himself. I am taking his life seriously, okay? So I'm just asking Tupac fans to not attack me in the comments. So anyway, before I even pulled anything and I asked for Tupac to please come through, immediately what I heard was Oakland. And keep in mind, guys, I am not a huge Tupac fan. I'm not saying I don't like him, but I don't listen to his music like that. Like, I'm not like all up in his life, and I don't know things here and there. So I heard Oakland and I was like, what does Oakland have to do with anything? Like, you guys are attacking me. I know you're like, really? But immediately, this, just to so you guys know, I'm like, legit, I heard Oakland. So Tupac, I'm hearing like he loves Oakland. Like, that's where he learns all of his, that's where he mastered his craft. He grew up, I heard he grew up in, well, I read too, he grew up in New York. I did a little research on him, especially because I heard Oakland. So I was like, did Tupac grow up in Oakland? Like, basically Oakland was his stomping grounds. He really made a name for himself in the Bay Area. People still rep him till this day. Like, they go hard for him. And Tupac wants you guys to know, from the Bay Area, he loves you guys. He sees you guys repping him. He sees you guys, going hard for him, okay? So I just wanted to say that. Yeah, as I was speaking of Tupac, this is about to be an interesting reading. As I was speaking of Tupac, the Angel of Strength came through immediately. Tupac, also I heard his mom. His mom was his rock. Like, he loves his mom so much. There was a deep, deep connection that he has with his mom. He still looks up to his mom. And also, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up Tupac's chart. I heard Gemini as I was pulling his chart. Okay, so Tupac's chart, okay? He is a sun in Gemini, his moon is in Aries, his Mercury is in Gemini, his Venus is in Gemini, and his Mars is in Aquarius. So yeah, like, Tupac, he loved surrounding himself with people that were strong. He loved strong women. He liked repping strong women. Oh my god, I remember he had a song about his mom, actually. He loves his mother. His mom is coming through, so I don't know if his mom is a Leo. I will try to find something on his mom's zodiac sign, not that that matters, but his mom, he has such a high respect for his mom. I'm hearing as well, like, if anybody tried to fuck with his mother, he would get rowdy. He'd get up in your face like, what did you say about my moms? Like, he calls his mom moms. He's like, what'd you say about my moms? Mama? My moms? Like, I heard moms. His mom raised him to be very strong. His mom was a single mom. I heard him say too. He's like, I'm hearing him too. He said, my mom was a single mom. My mom didn't have a lot of people around her to raise me. The streets raised me. I let the streets raise me, and I let my mom kind of like guide me. My mom kind of guided me, but the streets made me who I was, you know? And his mom actually didn't like him being out in the streets when he was little. Like, I'm hearing he had a curfew, and oftentimes Tupac would try to like, you know, he would try to like push, you know, it off, and his mom actually had to yell at him a lot because he was always in the fucking streets. He was always, and yes, he did get into some heavy stuff, but what I'm hearing is he really likes to do like rap battles. Like, I don't know what those are called. What are they called when they do like the rap battles? Oh my god, I am so lost with that. But he, you know, you guys know what I'm talking about, when they have like the rap battles in the streets and they're going hard, and they get, that's, you know, Tupac started doing a lot of his he liked doing stuff like that, like rap games like that, and he did get into some heavy like stuff where it was like street stuff where he wasn't supposed to be in. His mom didn't raise him to be that type of boy, but a lot of times she was a single mom, so she couldn't do it by herself, you know what I mean? So, and that's what happens a lot with young black males, is they get, you know, that are raised in the hood, you know what I mean? He really was raised in the hood. Like, he was a hood guy through and through. And a lot of girls found that attractive about Tupac. They loved that about him. They were like, ooh, you was a street man. Ooh. Like, I don't know if there was one girl he dated that she was like, ooh, you was a street man. Ooh, I love it. And they used to call him, I'm about to say his last name so wrong, but he liked to date a lot of girls with like, so I don't know if he dated a lot of girls when he was in New York, but a lot of girls called him by his last name. Ooh, Shakur, Tupac Shakur. I'm probably saying that so fucking wrong. I apologize, guys. But that's what I'm hearing. Like, they'd be like, ooh, Tupac Shakur. Ooh, yes. Like, they just loved him. Like, he was a ladies' man. And he was growing up in a time where women really, like, I don't know, like, they like respected men that were in the streets. Like, that was his era. Shakur, that's how you say it. Tupac Shakur. I'm probably saying that so wrong, and I apologize, guys. Yeah, so let's see what else comes out. But his mother, I don't know if his mother is a Leo, but she is coming right out. That doesn't even matter. She doesn't have to be a Leo to represent this card. Like, she could just be, you know, this is just her character. Like, that was the main character of her, is that she was strong. She's a strong black woman, and Tupac really respected his mother, and if anybody came for his mom, he was like on your ass. Like, he did not give a fuck. Like, you would get that Moon and Aries temper if anybody like said anything about his mother. He was done with you. I'm hearing he would get rowdy real quick. He has a lot of Gemini in his chart too. A lot of air and that fire, that Moon and Aries. I don't know what his rising's in. So let's see what else comes out. He was very into, like, you know, like a little bit of Tupac also had like angels around him, angels that like guided him. He's only getting angel cards so far, I've been noticing. So, you know, Tupac was really in tune. Even as a little boy, Tupac actually would see things. He doesn't have water in his chart, but like I say, it's okay. You don't have to have water in your chart to be intuitive, you know? So he, even when he was little, I'm hearing he would even see things that like others didn't see. Like he would see spirits. He would see people like passing. He would see like more so I'm hearing he would see angels when he was little. He would dream about angels a lot. He would dream about people, like he would know when someone was gonna, like he would know things like that were gonna happen. I'm hearing more so that we're gonna die, like people that were gonna pass, he like die in a car accident or stuff. Like Tupac would have a lot of like dreams of like he would wake up as a little boy and he would be like, oh my god, like he would tell his mom, like he calls his mom moms a lot. So I don't know if you guys know that as a fan. Let me know if he calls his moms a lot. I'm hearing moms. Like he would wake his mom up like moms, like blah 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 is gonna pass away, like blah blah blah. Like he would see a friend of his like in the street like getting shot, like before, like, and he saw that a lot growing up. He saw a lot of people getting like shot like right in front of him. Like he would see death a lot as he was growing up. And obviously most of you guys would be like, well duh, because he grew up in the street, like of course he did. But even when he was a little boy, like he would see that. Also, I don't know what kind of dad, if you guys want to clarify that for me too. As a little boy, he saw his mom, like his dad was really abusive, like I'm hearing. So let me know if that's true, guys. Like I'm hearing that, like he would see his mom, like there's a reason he's so protective over his mother. Like his mom would get beat up on a lot. Like his dad was very abusive. Or if he was abusive with, I'm hearing physically abusive. Like his dad would like he would come in and Tupac would like cry. Like he would come in the room and he would like hear his mom getting hit. And so he was like, he would scream and like tell his like dad, stop hitting her. Like, and Tupac's dad was really like he would shove him, like get out of here, like, you know. So Tupac actually found a home in the streets because he was so afraid a lot of times to be home when his dad was there. That's what I'm hearing. So let me know, guys, if that's true, if you know anything about his dad being abusive. So I'm hearing that. So just want to make sure, you know, and I'll try to look it up myself to make sure that that's clearly what I heard. But I'm hearing that his dad was abusive. Like his dad cheated, and his dad just wasn't the man that he was supposed to be. So Tupac really, he became the man in his house. Like, and I believe he had a sibling too, or he has siblings. So let me know too if he has siblings. But I'm hearing he had to protect his siblings a lot, and he would do things just so he could be a man. Like he had to try to learn you know, quickly how to be a man, because his dad wasn't being a man. So his dad was abusive in some way. So either verbally abusive or he was physically abusive. So just let me know, guys, if that's true. I am hearing that. So yeah. Okay, so yes, Tupac was a lover. What is his Venus in? His Venus is in Gemini. But that's okay. I'm hearing that he loved love. Like he was such a lover, and oftentimes Tupac, but he was a person, he loved love. He liked when love would start out, but he didn't really see like a very he didn't really see a very healthy type of relationship growing up, even though he loved his mom. But Tupac was like the heartbreaker. Like he was such a heartbreaker. He would get into relationships quick with women. And I was kind of hearing that early before I even pulled this. Like Tupac would get into relationships with women, and he would romance these women. And then, you know, they would be like, oh my God, Tupac, like damn, zaddy, like stuff like like people loved him. Like women, I already said that. Like women loved him. They like fell at his feet. You know, he got these women in the bedroom pretty quickly. He knew how to. Tupac, I'm even hearing like he would be like, yeah, ma. Like he would say ma, like yeah, ma. Like he would like smooth talk these women, and they're like, damn Shakur, like you know what you doing, boy. Like I don't know. So I don't know if he was really attracted to women, or if he just did a lot of his dating in New York. Well, obviously it's a grown ass man. He did. He liked girls like that though. He liked girls that were just like, damn. But like at the same time, Tupac was really attracted to women that were strong, like his mom. Like he didn't have respect, and oftentimes he broke the hearts of women that were just weak. He didn't like weak-minded women. He hated women, not like hated women like that, but he hated girls that were weak-minded. And I don't want to say hated them like personally, but he didn't respect girls that were weak-minded. He was just like I don't know, like that's what I'm hearing. Like he just didn't respect. He didn't have respect for them. He just kind of like walked all over them. Not saying he's a bad person, but he's a man. Like, you know, he liked women. He liked strong women like his mother. Strong women that had shit going for themselves. Strong women that even if they weren't stable a lot, like really stable, like they knew their worth and they knew where they stood. And he loved women that would stand up to him, like because Tupac was a guy that tried to like I said, smooth talk, or he would get rowdy with that moon in Aries, and he'd be like, not hit them. I'm not saying that Tupac was abusive, but he would just, I don't know, like he had a hot temper. So like if a woman didn't back down from him, he really liked that. That actually like turned him on even more. Like he's like, damn, like fuck yeah, you know. Also, before Tupac passed, I did see a little bit of this. I didn't look too much, but he was in love with someone before he passed. I think he was gonna get married, so we'll see if that comes out again. I did see that in the, and when I see things, I say it. Like I saw it on, when I was searching for him on the internet. But again, guys, I didn't look too much into him, so let me know. Was he gonna get married before he passed away? Like, you know, or like what happened with that? Okay. But yeah, a lot of people like were jealous of Tupac too. Like a lot of people in the rap industry didn't like he had like it was like 50-50. Like he had people that respected him, but at the same time he had people that wanted to see him fall, wanted to see didn't appreciate his craft. Like I'm also hearing there were people in the rap industry that were like, you only got to where you were because you know this person, you know that person. And he's like, no, I got here because of my talent. I got here because I'm good, because I actually rap about stuff that matters. Like that mattered a lot to Tupac. He didn't like rapping about stupid shit. Like he's a Gemini too, so he didn't like rapping about things that were stupid, but he did have some things binding him before he passed away. Some financial constraints. Like he had money that he owed. There was money that he owed to people in the streets. There was money that he owed in the industry. And also people, like I said, they didn't want to see him flourish, and that really held him back in a lot of ways. Like Tupac couldn't do a lot of the things he wanted to do. He had a lot of plans before he passed away as well. I said this about Selena, but Tupac had a lot of plans when he passed, before he passed. Yeah, I keep saying this, guys. He was a heartbreaker. He was a heartbreaker. And also people had such high regards for Tupac, but they didn't really understand. Not saying all of his fans, not even. I believe these were people that doubted him. More so, people that doubted him. Like they didn't like really appreciate his craft and the amount of, of how long he spent working on his craft. Okay, guys. I'm hearing he would be up for hours writing raps, like hours of the night. And the women he was with, this came in between his relationships a lot, because he was on his grind. A lot of times he was focused, and he didn't like really pay a lot of attention to the women that he dated. He didn't pay attention to a lot of women that he dated because he was just on his grind. He was on his hustle. And because of that, his relationships ended up, his relationships suffered a lot. I'm getting that a lot. Even though he was a lover, he was a fighter. He's a lover and a fighter. But he didn't really I wouldn't say he was mean or he was heartless, but he broke a lot of hearts because he was just so, there were times where Tupac was very inconsiderate of the women that were in his life. He loved love, but at the same time, he got bored of love fast, too. I have to mention that. He does have that Venus in Gemini. Okay, so let's see what else comes out for him. What else should I know about Tupac? Yeah, I said this, 8 of Pentacles. He was hard at work on his craft, guys. Like, he had some big plans with his music. There was a lot of collaborations he wanted to do. I don't know if he did a collaboration with Biggie or Notorious B.I.G., which is the same person, but I don't know if he did a collaboration with him, but I'm hearing that he wanted to collaborate with him. He wanted to, or like people like, Biggie. People like Biggie. Like he wanted, so, or if he was friends with Biggie. So, again, I'll look that up after this reading to make sure, but that's what I'm hearing, is he wanted his music to progress like that, or he wanted to collaborate with Biggie, stuff like that. Like he really was like, he admired him like a lot. That's what I'm hearing. So he also wanted to release more songs, like songs about his mom. He wanted to get more in depth. Also, interestingly enough, Tupac wanted to expose a lot of people in the music industry. He's not much of a talker. Oh, also, Tupac didn't like talking a lot. He's very quiet. what's his Mercury in Gemini. He was more of a thinker. He was more in his head. He was more of a person that's like, he liked to sit back and observe. Like he liked to go out on. I'm hearing he, you know, Tupac liked to go back out on the streets. After he kind of was making it, he liked to go back out on the streets. He liked to go to those rap stuff like a lot. Like he liked to see like what fresh talent was emerging in Harlem, in New York, in Oakland, in the Bay, stuff like that. Um, you know, so I don't know if he end up going to Oakland, guys. Please let me know. But that's what I'm hearing. Like he loved fresh talent. That's where he pulled a lot of his inspiration from, was the talent that was like raw. Like he didn't like looking at the people besides, you know, Biggie and other people that were, you know, legends, that he really considered legends. But he liked looking at fresh faces in the streets. That's where he pulled a lot of his inspiration from. Also, he loved talking about like political things. But a lot of the times he had actually a lot of songs that were talking about like, you know, who was running for president, stuff like that, like political stuff. Like Tupac knows a lot about politics as well. Like, and being a Gemini, it makes sense. Um and like I said, he wasn't someone that communicated a lot. He was someone that would just rather you he would rather speak through his music. He would rather show you through his music where his mind's at. And a lot of times, like, this is kind of intimate, but I'm seeing like, you know in black movies, where African American movies, where the woman is always like, you know, behind the man, and she's like, oh, what are you thinking about, babe, or baby, what you thinking about? Like, Tupac had moments where he would wake up in the middle of the night, and the woman he was with, or his fiance, if you know, he was about to get married before he passed, like, he would have moments where he was just like hanging out, like she would wake up and he was like on the edge of the bed and he was just thinking. He would have moments where he was just thinking, and you know, she would tell him like, what you thinking about, babe? Like, what you thinking about? And he's like, nothing. Like, he didn't like to talk about where he was going, like what he was doing or what he was thinking about. He was a man that moved silently. He liked to move silently, and he didn't like to talk a lot about what he was gonna do. And when people would doubt him, that was his fuel to move even like more. He wrote a lot of his raps at night. Like, he loved getting up at late at night, like at around like 12 or 1 or 2. Like, he like rap, like getting up his he like getting out a lot of his raps during that time. He even liked hearing like he liked going to the bathroom and rapping in the bathroom because it had like the best acoustics. These are weird things I'm hearing, guys. I hear everything, so that's what I'm hearing. He liked going in the bathroom and like rapping like really loud because he could hear it. He could really hear how like the words sounded. And when he got in the recording studio, a lot of times Tupac would do things with one take. Like, he didn't need to, he was a perfectionist. Let me just say that. He was a perfectionist. But he would like perfect his rap way before you know, he would get in the booth, you know. And he actually like would rap on his phone a lot, like, or like, did they have what kind of phones did they have back then? But or like wherever, not even a phone, maybe it was like a recording device. I'm hearing like a recording device of some sort. He would rap like on his recording device, and he'd be like blah blah blah, you know, like he would. And I don't know why I'm hearing this, but that's what I'm hearing. He would practice a lot. He took his rap very seriously, guys. Very fucking seriously. Yeah, actually, and Tupac still wants answers, actually, on the energy. I'm pulling more so this is the energy before he passed away. Um and also Tupac was very humble. Like, he wasn't a man that had a lot of ego, you know. But people misconstrued this a lot with him. Like, they thought he was cocky for some reason, like, because he was very humble and very like to himself. Tupac actually got this a lot. So I don't know what his rising's in, but people thought that didn't really know him. People thought he was very cocky. They thought he wasn't very humble, you know, until like they got to know him. And then when people started to actually, when Tupac would sit down and talk to them, they would start seeing like, damn, like, you like have so much going on in your mind. Like you are so smart. Tupac was very smart too, like very smart. But he didn't like saying a lot of what he was thinking. He didn't like saying a lot what he was thinking of what he was thinking. And actually in this deck, the high priest, the high priestess, yeah, this is about knowing intuitively, knowing things. And he, when Tupac didn't know something, he will go look it up. He was so smart, guys. Being a Gemini, I see that. He was so fucking smart. The things he knew. And he liked putting that in his rap music too. That's what I'm hearing. He liked putting that in his rap music. And he liked, as you all know, being a fan of his, all of his music had substance. Like it was meaty. It was so meaty of substance. Like he didn't like rapping about things that were stupid. Like he hated that. Yeah, so let's see what else comes out for him. What else should I know about him? Yeah, he also wanted to be able to provide for his mom a lot. Like he liked, and not just his mom, but like for women, like he liked being that. He grew up very poor. So when he got money, he liked being able to unload and just go shopping. Like Tupac liked to buy things. Like he like, so even though he has Venus and Gemini, you know, he wasn't a very showy person. Like people didn't really know what he had until they like walked into his house and they're like, damn, you know. And he was very humble about it. He's very humble about it. I'm telling you guys, very humble. But a lot of people thought he was cocky, you know, because like in the street they're like, oh, you think you're better than us just because you made it. Like people, when he started making it, people like that he grew up with flipped on him. Like they're like, oh, you think you're the shit. And this created a lot of people being envious of him. And he started getting a lot of enemies because of it. And he was like, nah, dude, like I'm just out here moving. Like I'm just in silence moving. That's what I'm hearing from him. Like he's like, I'm not, you know, he wasn't very boastful. But when he would allow people into his space, that's when I'm noticing that I'm feeling that people would get rowdy with him. Like people tried to challenge Tupac a lot too. Like they're like, oh, you think you're better than us? The fuck? Like, and Tupac didn't have time. Like if people, you know, I'm hearing Tupac was really good about that. He was very good at like focusing. And a lot of times he came off very cold and detached because of this, because, you know, he didn't have time. He was a man that was always moving. He was always moving. He was always working on his projects. He always had something in the works. He was always working on something, you know, or like collaborations, or, and he had money too. He had money, but he, you know, he would spend it on things. But yeah, guys, Three of Swords came out. He was a heartbreaker, I'm telling you. So let me know, guys, if that's true. Was Tupac a heartbreaker? Like, cause I'm seeing that he was a heartbreaker. And a lot of times women were like, they wanted him to tell him what they were thinking. I mean, what he was thinking. Like he was just like, nah, like y'all need to know that, Ma. I'm hearing y'all. You don't need to know that, Ma. You don't need to know that. Don't worry about it, Ma. Did he say Ma a lot? Like I'm hearing, you don't need to worry about that, Ma. Ma. Like you don't need to worry about that, Ma. Like, and he had this look, like he's like, Ma. You know, I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of how I'm seeing him, but he looked down a lot. He was like, y'all don't need to know about that, Ma. Like, don't worry about it, Ma. Like, that's what he would say a lot. And they're like, oh my gosh, Shakur. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they would get so frustrated with him. They would get so fucking frustrated with him. Before he, like, almost, I think he was about to settle down too before he passed. But, yeah. He was a little heartbreaker. And that could be different ways he was cheating. He liked to romance different women. So let me know, guys. Let me know. So that's what I'm hearing. Let's see what the energy was like before he passed away, okay? What was his, where was Tupac's mind before he passed away? And if you guys want me to create a part 2, let me know. Ask me some questions and we can get more into his energy. I'm just doing a general reading on him, but I would love for you guys to put some questions below. Let me know what you guys want to know about him, okay? Because I want my die-hard Tupac fans to put some questions below, and we'll look into that. I'm curious too. I'm telling you guys, this flew right out. Tupac wants answers still, or he knows a lot. He knows a lot. This could be two things. He knows a lot. Tupac knew a lot of things, but also like he still wants some answers, even though he has passed away. There are some things that, and people, I feel like these are fans. I feel like these are fans that want to know, is Tupac still alive? God, he's passed. You know, Tupac, people still want their answers. Fans are still very distraught over what happened to him. And he knows that. He knows that you guys want answers. He knows that you guys want to know the truth of what happened. So let's see. So what really happened with Tupac? What was going on, Tupac? Speak to us. What really happened to you? What really happened to you? Okay, what really happened to you? Page of Swords. Page of Swords. I came back out. Three of Swords. These cards are coming back out, guys. It's interesting. So I'm hearing intuitively that I'm kind of hearing Tupac's energy saying, like, in the spirit guides that I have, are saying that there were, I keep saying this, but there were a lot of people that were envious of Tupac, that wanted to see Tupac fail, that were very jealous of him because he was reaching a pivotal moment at his career, in his career. And a lot of people that he was in business with on the streets, a lot of people in the music industry, Tupac was into some really shady things that, you know, could have ended him up if he didn't. I think he was in and out of prison, but it could have ended him up in prison for life. Like, he was tied up with the wrong people, even as he was getting money, even as he was doing things in the rap industry and making a name for himself. He was into some very dark things with people. He had a lot of debts that he had to pay with people. And, you know, a lot of people wanted blood on their hands in regards to him. So let me know, guys, if you know anything about that. But that's what I'm hearing intuitively. Like, Tupac would even give, like, he knew a lot of drug dealers. He knew a lot of gang members. And he was tied up in that life, too. And he would give them money to keep them quiet. He'd be like, shut up. Like, he would keep them quiet. A lot of money. He would give them money. But a lot of people, like, took his kindness for weakness. And he had to get rowdy real quick on them. So, Tupac, what do you want to say? What do you want to say? Yeah, also, Tupac was, there was a side of Tupac that a lot of people didn't know. He was a man that was very humble, very understanding, but also Tupac had a lot of demons. I'm sure a lot of you guys know that, being his fans. But he had a lot of demons. Tupac had a lot of times where he wanted to escape, or he did escape. He would get tied up into either drugs or alcohol. He was tied up into that life. He had a lot of addictions, a lot of moping. He would have moments where he was very mopey, very sad. He was actually very sad. A lot of people didn't see that about him because he just had a lot of demons. But a lot of these demons that he had actually kept him humble. They kept him very humble, because if he didn't have the shit that he went through, he would not be as humble. And he's saying that I would not be as humble. Like, there were a lot of things in my life, he's saying, that made me humble, that humbled me. Like, the universe literally would take him and shove him on his ass and knock him on the ground many times, many fucking times. I'm telling you guys, he was very spiritual, but he would deny the side of himself. Even when he was young, I'm hearing he would see things. So a lot of times he had to get humble. Like, the universe would humble his ass. Like, that's what he's saying. He also saw his mom. He saw his mom get tied up in a lot of things too. And that hurts him. That hurt him. Four Pentacles in the reverse. He had to let go before he passed as well. And just before he passed away, he had to let go of a lot of things that were causing his addictions, causing him to be greedy. And he wasn't greedy with his money. He was actually very generous with his money, because this is the Four Pentacles in the reverse. But he was more so greedy with himself and his time, you know, which is the Three of Swords is clarifying that. But he had a lot of people use him. He had a lot of people that used him because he was just so humble and generous. And this got to him a lot. This caused him to actually be very, like, unstable. very unstable. And a lot of people didn't see that about him. A lot of people didn't know that about him, that he had moments where he wasn't confident. Obviously, he's a human, like, you know what I mean? But that's what Tupac is saying too, is that, you know, I had to humble myself. I had to humble myself. There were a lot of times where people didn't get to see me be vulnerable because I was a man. You know what I mean? And I like to come off hard, like, because when he was in the streets and when he, even in the rap game, it was hard. It was tough. It was a lot tougher than it is now. And he's seeing that. He's like, man, y'all don't know how hard this shit was. Like, I had to humble myself constantly, you know? And also, I'm feeling intuitively, he's saying, like, you know, that the rap industry was a lot darker back when I was growing up. Back when I was making a name for myself in the rap industry, it was tough. It was tough because a lot of people just had it out for you, and you had to grow up, literally you had to grow up in the streets. You had to prove yourself. You had to grind, you had to hustle. And that's what he had to do. Even when he was a boy, you know, he would watch music videos, he would watch rap, he would learn, he would write his craft. He would, I'm seeing like a notebook and paper, like he's literally like writing. I'm even seeing him as he was a little boy. He's so cute. Hopefully I can look up some pictures of, you know, Tupac when he was young. Beautiful. Yeah, his mom's coming out again. His mom, she was very emotionally unstable. And he's saying he saw that growing up. So he tended to attract a lot of emotionally unstable women, and women that like were in abusive households themselves, and he had to like save them. He dated women that he liked to date women, especially growing up. He a teenager and his into adulthood. He dated a lot of women. Even like before he passed, there were women like his cup of tea were women that needed saving. He didn't typically like that, but he tended to attract women that he liked strong women, but he tended to attract women that needed saving. You know, that had like not some Drake shit, but you know, but like he dated women that, you know, needed saving, that were, you know, that were kind of clingy. And he didn't know how to stop attracting women because he liked that. He liked saving them. But also this caused him to not be faithful a lot of times because, you know, he says he wanted to do right by these women. I'm hearing him say, I wanted to do right by these women, but unfortunately, like, I just couldn't stay faithful a lot of times because I wanted to be faithful. But before I think he met his fiance, I'm saying this, before he met his fiance, he wasn't faithful. He would get bored a lot too. But this is why he wasn't faithful, because he liked strong women. Yeah, so the Tower came out. The Wheel of the Year reverse, in the reverse came out. Seven of Year. Oh, Seven of Year, sorry. Seven of Wands. Why did I say Seven of Year? Also, I'm hearing him saying like he was knocked off his throne a lot. Like, I keep hearing that, guys. He had to humble himself. And before he passed, like, something happened in regards to, you know, him not feeling like the man. Like, he didn't feel confident for, I don't know what this is, but he was knocked off his pedestal a lot, because there was a moment where he was starting to get, he was very humble. He was very humble. He was a very sweet guy. But there were certain influences that made him kind of like, he started to get tough, like too tough and too mean, you know, in certain areas, because he always had to defend himself. He always had to defend his craft. And also, a lot of people had unfinished business with him. I keep saying that, guys. He had a lot of people after him. So if you guys know anything about this, let me know. Let's start a conversation. Who? But there were a lot of people that were after Tupac, and of course he knows about it, but he knew about it. But this is what caused this is what caused him passing, actually. The murder that happened with him, because people had it out for him. So what happened before he passed? What happened before he passed? Yeah. Wow. Whew. He has his Mars in Aquarius. The Aquarius card is coming out. Tupac feels like it was fated, actually, that he knew. Like I said, he was very in tune. But Tupac knew that his time was coming. He knew. Um, he did get caught off guard a bit, but he knew. He always had a feeling that there were people that, of course, people with voices to him too, but people, he always knew that people wanted him dead. He knew this. He knew that people didn't want to see him thrive. And he also knew that there were a lot of debts he had to pay. A lot of people that were out to get him, you know? And he had to always strap up. Like, he had to, like, I'm hearing Tupac always carried a gun with him. Um, this got him in trouble a lot, but he had to have people around him protecting him. But he always was a man that had to defend himself. He didn't rely on people to defend him. But it was nice if he did have someone to defend him. But yeah, 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, there were 5 people that had it out for Tupac. So I'm hearing like in a gang, like gang wise, or in the music industry wise, that were tied up in the gang world, or that, you know, like 5 people were involved in Tupac's, like, he owed these people money. And so I don't know, guys, if you can clarify. I'm hearing it could have been in the rap industry, or it could have been in the in the streets, basically. But there were 5 people, whoever there were, it doesn't matter. There were 5 people that wanted Tupac done, like, out. Yeah, and the Magician is in the reverse. Yeah, there are 5 people, guys, that were involved in his murder. Wow, it's just it's got very dark. But I asked the question. So I don't know if you guys know about this, being his fans, who these 5 people were. I'm hearing that they, like, I'm also hearing the 5 people, I think they were men, but they were influenced by like, he had spies, he had people looking out, like, looking at what he was doing, but the spies were women. So there were women that dated Tupac, but they were tied up into that shit too, you know. And when Tupac, like, would hurt them, you know, or something went down with them, like, they would go back and report to these people. So, you know, something like that, like, shit like that. Like, Tupac had spies. Like, he had people that, you know, were looking out. 8 of Swords reverse. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, Tupac owed money. This isn't a Pentacle card, but I'm hearing that. Like, around 8 mil or something like that. 8 grand. Something like that. Something with money. 8 something. And 8 can be, it can symbolize dark. Like, it's in the 8th house. So I don't know what he has in his 8th house, but something with that too. That's what I'm hearing. Interesting. This just got really interesting. Is there anything else? Yeah, guys, it had to do with some women that were spying. Like, because he was a heartbreaker. He wasn't, I'm not saying this is why they killed him, but these are having to do with lookouts, like spies. Like, yeah. And also, he felt like he couldn't be loving towards the energy of him passing, because he had made so many enemies. He was well loved. I'm not saying he's not loved. He was well loved, but he also had made enemies before he passed, before he was murdered. So women would congregate about him too. That's what I'm hearing. They would congregate about him. Yeah. Yeah, he dated a lot of codependent women. They had it out for him too. 9 of Cups in the upright. Excuse me. Yeah. Tupac was a player. Yo. I'm telling you something, a bunch of women are coming out. So I think they had to do with the, like, they didn't make it easier when, you know, Tupac, they had it all for him too. They had it all for him too. And they were in that life. That's what I'm hearing, guys, too. But this had to do more so with him. He owed money. He had made a couple deals with people and he didn't keep that. So I don't know if towards the end of him, this could also be his fiance, if he was about to get married. This could also be his fiance mourning. She was mourning his death. And she actually was very codependent on him. A lot of women were codependent on him too. And her. So, yeah. Karma in the reverse. Yeah, what happened to him wasn't fair. It was not fair. He actually, I'm hearing, even though he had a feeling, he wasn't supposed to go. He wasn't supposed to go at that time, even though I always say, like, when people pass, that is their time, but that actually was not his time. God had other plans for Tupac, actually, because Tupac was making a big impact, you know, in places like the Bay Area, in New York, Los Angeles, stuff like that. Like, he was making a big impact with his music, and he actually wasn't supposed to go around the time he went. That's the first time I'm actually hearing that. He was actually supposed to make a bigger splash, but he was just too tied up into his demons and too tied up into the wrong things. So, guys, this is my reading on Tupac. It's been long, but I wanted to do a very detailed reading on him. I could go on more. So if you guys want me to do a part 2, drop some questions below. Tupac, thank you so much for coming through, for telling us a little bit. He's a very private person, so I'm shocked that he told me, or I heard intuitively as well, what I heard. So I hope this has brought some fans some type of closure, you know. But yeah, if you guys want part two, if you want a part 2, just let me know, and let's make the part 2 some questions you guys have, okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I hope I made you guys proud, Tupac fans proud. The questions I had, you guys let me know if you guys know anything about his, like, let's talk about it, you know, like, let me know, Tupac fans, like, what was going on with him? Do you guys know a lot about his life, him and his mother, stuff like that, you know? So the same cards kept coming out for him, so that was very interesting. But like I said, if you guys would like to book a personal reading with me, it's in the description below. And I will be coming out with more videos. I got more readings that I want to do. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, thank you all for the support. The support has been so great. And I hope I made you guys, my Tupac fans, proud, okay? Sorry again for butchering his last name. Anyway, guys, this has been Sade's Tarot Tea. And love and light, guys.